I created a screencast to help guide us through this final. I enjoyed this project because it made me look and reflect on my current school. The current school I work at right now is Health Sciences High in Middle College, a charter school in City Heights. I'm lucky to say that this school is even open due to the fact that the Charter Schools Act passed in 1992. My school's been here for about 8 years, and during this process of going through everything in this course, I got to really examine my school and see what I liked and see some of the things that I might be able to change. When talking about the school and what we're looking at, there's a vision that we have for our overall school and then a vision that we had for this year. The vision that we focused on right now is to implement technology within the classroom and to make sure that we push the technology into each and every one of our classrooms. With that being said, it was very hard and we needed to focus on making sure that we supported our teachers so that they could understand what was going on. With that, we took our teachers, and 80% of our teachers now are blended learning certified. So when you talk about our teachers being certified, it pushes back into the classroom. So all of our students right now are getting technology in every one of their classes. If that's from an iPad lesson or getting on the computer to write an essay or to just check their grades on PowerSchool, all of our students are using this. At the same time, all of our students know that our teachers have websites and that they can go and look at their websites each and every day. Along with that, we needed to focus on our teachers and our teachers' needs. We always know that there's room for improvement and that we can support our teachers every day by showing them how to use the technology a little bit better and to focus on making sure that they are feeling motivated, making sure that they understand, even if they don't know the technology, that they still have the support from administration and other colleagues that they work with. We really wanted to focus on making sure that you're using the tools within the classroom. So we try to get each teacher to have some type of technology so that they can use this with their students. We focus on that because we want our teachers to have the technology, be able to use it, model it, and then have the students be able to use it. When we talk about all that with teachers and students, it then comes back to community and parents and things like that. Right now, I believe that we have a very low parent involvement and that we need to focus on that. I believe that's my biggest action plan right now, is to focus on getting parents here for parent night and getting some of that money that we get for implementing technology, like the Common Core money, or right now what they're calling, the soon-to-be SBAC money, is to really focus on that and push that to get technology in for parents, or get parent nights where we can have them all here so they can understand what their students are going through, and we can see what questions they might have and see if they even have technology at home. Because what we don't want to do is have technology here, then no technology at home, and parents feel like they are not capable to support their students. Along with that, and we start talking about this, is a big response to technology. I believe that we should have a fast response. Our students are first, and that if something's wrong, they should get the equipment fixed. I believe that we have two great guys that do this right now, and I feel that sometimes some schools I hear that are 24 to 48 hours wait. I believe we have a maximum of a 30-minute wait. I think that's where all schools should be. Along with that, I believe that these two men should be able to support our teachers, and they do a very good job at that. If something's broken, they can get into the classroom and support them by fixing it or getting them the materials that they need to use within the day. With that comes a lot of support and how much time that takes. So I believe we should take action in spending some of the money by hiring somebody else. I think that we could use this by taking maybe an after-school grant and hiring someone that's not here full-time, but maybe more at the end of the day, and then runs into the later part of the afternoon, so there's always someone here to help with technology. We have the capacity. We have computers and iPads and all that in all of our classrooms, and we offer our Wi-Fi to all of our students so that they can get the support that they need. A lot of our students like to use their own devices. And in the world that we're living in, the technology that we see, we want those students to be able to use those devices within their classroom. We like this. It gives every student accessibility to technology, and that's the main focus, is that if we're going to push something, we need to follow our vision and make sure that it's happening. We have a data system that we use, just like the districts and other schools, is PowerSchool, and this is all the data that we want to put in. This helps us understand where our students are and what they're doing, their grades, certain things like that, where parents can also see it as well. But at the same time, we have to focus on understand what that data is being used for and how it can be used more adequately in helping students and parents and all of us make sure that we're using our technology to our best of our knowledge. So that comes in, and we have to understand who's in control of that and what information is being spread out. When we talk about accessibility, all our students are here, and no student is not denied computer services or technology services because our culture doesn't allow that. Our culture here is to focus on the student and make sure that this is a safe learning environment and that they're enjoying what they're doing. Along with that, though, the fears come up of what happens if a student is getting online and if things are happening negative. There are codes put in there right now for cyberbullying. I know the education code I think is like 48900, and things like that. We have to make sure that we're helping our students grow, and if things come up, how to support them with. I know when talking about giving freedom to students and giving them accessibility to technology, the idea of expression of rights and freedom, academic freedom and things like that comes into play. There was one case that stood out to me, the Lopez versus Tulane Joint Union High School District, when students wanted to share what it was for a teenager to be a father or parents, and it had a lot of negative language, and the teacher didn't appreciate that. But that was them using technology to show real life and to show how they're working with that. So we always have to be prepared to work with that and understand how we can best support our students. When we move forward, we have to make sure that all of our teachers are using the best tools and making sure that they understand the tools that they're using. We have to make sure all the materials are accessible and that they can give them to the students. We have to make sure that they are following the vision that we have, is making sure that this is a blended learning community. With that said, we have to make sure that we are giving our teachers their academic freedom. But at the same time, this does come up, and the fear of what happens if something's put across negative, especially on an online environment. When I look at that, I think about the case of Pickering versus the Board of Education, and when that teacher kind of lost in Poway because the district chose to remove some of the things in his classroom. Well, this is our online classroom, and what are we putting across to make sure that we're doing everything the best we can do to support our students? I think we can always grow as educators and individuals, and I think the biggest thing that we can do is learn from our students. Our students are always using technology and always knowing a little bit more sometimes than what we expect them to know. So learning from our students, I feel like a big action plan for myself would be to build professional developments around students leading in them, and so that we can learn from the students what they see and what they know about the technology, as well as collaborating with them in some of these technology professional development, so we could be on the same page with our students, so we can show them what we're learning and we could hear from them as well. I believe we have great leaders who show us how to understand the budget and know what the budget looks like. We have very high open communication, and we understand where our money's going. We want to, as educators, always know, and this is a scary topic because budget is always talked about, but our leaders show us where the money is going, and that we agree on where, most of the time, where the money is going. Like we said, we wanted technology, so they helped us in building that budget and pushing that forward. Our funding, our idea is to not overgrow our technology sources, but to maintain them. So that's where we're going to have to use some of our money to make sure that we maintain the equipment that we have and not overgrow it. We get money from our grants, ADA, our Common Core, which I'll kind of dive into in a little bit. With that professional learning, it's always data driven. Everything here is data driven, so we got to make sure that what we're using and what we're doing is creating the best student or helping our students achieve success. So we have to always make sure that we're following up on that and working with one another to make sure that we are supporting our students. At the same time, I think that we need to grow as individuals and grow as educators. So building in professional developments and building a budget where we can take action and go to workshops and make sure that our staff is 100% understanding of this material and these new devices, so we can support our students as much as possible. When we talk about money and we look into money, that's something that I've dove into this year and that I really enjoy, because I want to support our school by making sure that we have enough money. What I've learned is ADA, average daily attendance, is we get $6,300 per year per student. So every time a student is out of our school, we're losing money that could best support us, or best support our goals, or best support our technology push-in. Um, and so I wanted to take my own personal life and focus on that and help make sure that our students are here. And if they're not here, why are they not here? Helping doing home visits, helping making contracts when they're going to be out of time, because you could build a contract and the student leaves for a couple of days, and by completing that work and turning that contract in, we are going to clear their absences and at the same time collect that ADA even if they weren't physically in the classroom. Another thing that I found out, and I didn't know this 100%, was the first time Common Core money. The Common Core money that we get is $150 per student. And this is a one-time money where we can focus on putting that money towards technology and the learning of this technology. Due to the new Common Core standards, we're going to be using a lot of this technology, so we have to understand it and we have to have the money to have the devices available. And the biggest thing that I've seen and what we use is our grants. Our grants that we write are for different areas. I know that one of the biggest ones that we have right now is for an after-school program. That after-school program runs in the morning and runs in the afternoon, and it collects money for every student that is from 6th grade to 9th grade by checking in and checking out. And I think this is great money, and this is where we can use some of this money to hire either more people to be on staff to support tutoring, technology implementation, and use some of this money to also get some of the other devices that we search for. I had the privilege of interviewing or help interviewing Dr. Ian Pumpian, and we asked him some pretty interesting questions and wanted to hear his responses. One of them was, what strategies have you found successful in technology planning integrated into the school's districts in strategic planning, LCAP, per state process, things like that. One of the things that he says was that we wanted our teachers to be well-rounded, and we wanted to make sure they have all the support they need. When something new is implemented and something that we ask to be pushed in, we have to make sure that our staff feels 100% okay with that. Along with that is, with all this technology, we've learned that collaborations with other schools has really helped us dive into our technology and understand what we're trying to do. We also asked, what has he done to help these tools be implemented into our school? And he said professional development and turning and putting technology into the curriculum, making sure that our curriculum is based around some of the technology. We asked one of the, what is the hardest thing or one of the biggest challenges, and he said equipment, making sure that it lasts, and using the money the right way to make sure all of our equipment is used correctly, and that if it's damaged, how to fix it and how to get it back as possible. He realized that this is a precious resource and that teachers need it, and teachers need to feel like they can always have it. We were also able to interview Alex Gonzalez, and some of the things that we asked him were kind of the same basic questions that we asked Dr. Pumpian of, what have you found successful? And the biggest thing that he said was making sure that we're on the same tools. Making sure that all the teachers are using the same ideas so that we're not going from one tool to another school. We also asked, what have you done? He helped make blended learning, and he helped make sure that all these teachers have become certified, and using the first 4 days to build in the support and to build into making sure that everything was working. The challenge for him was making sure that we had the correct equipment and making sure that he had the right product. We're not a one-to-one school, and he said that's the greatest thing, and he doesn't know if we're ever going to be a one-to-one school, especially with the ideas of freedom and what that gives to our students. So he focused on making sure that we understood what a 2-to-1 or just technology overall in the classroom meant. I was able to see two schools, Santee School District and Cohen Valley. I like Santee School District due to the fact that my son goes there, but it was a very smaller venue than what Cohen Valley was. Cohen Valley was more professional, I believe, in my eyes, and really focused to the idea of what was going on. They focused on homework and how that relates into the family and ESL learning. While in Santee School District, it focused on STEM magnet school and how that was going to benefit the city of Santee. Santee is a small community, and that was projected in both meetings actually, where community didn't have too many people asking questions, whereas myself, I wanted to jump up and ask questions, but I wanted to be a observer, so I stayed back. But both were very great to see, and it was really interesting to hear how board meetings were aligned and how strict they stuck to their schedule, because they wanted to make sure that everything got met on their agenda at a timely manner. So it was very interesting. I was very thankful to be able to see both of these school board meetings.